We're kind of starting around the same time as Lightforge.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter. You can still tweet it.
Yes.
Doesn't hurt to tweet. Live. See, the thing about that Boozer icon doesn't even look like Boozer. Like my friend tried to get me to use that for emojis or something like that. So the emoji I created, I'm like, this doesn't even look like me. Why am I using this thing? The emoji she created doesn't even look like her. I'm like, well, if we're just gonna create emojis, can I get like a 6-pack on mine?
Yeah.
And can I be just taller?
No. No.
And it's like, can I also be Caucasian or black? Would that be cool?
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Did you see How to Train Your Dragon? You're not a fan of that?
I thought the second movie was pretty bad.
Yeah.
So I honestly don't even like what the hell happened in the second movie.
I think it was he finds this island, Dragon Island, where it's like a super alpha where like all the dragons go. And some guy is like the Dragon Master or something like that.
Was trying to hunt down dragons.
I'm not sure if he was trying to hunt them down, but I don't know what his problem was. I forget what it was.
Like aren't they hunting down dragons in like every movie? Like
yeah. Well, it's a world of dragons. But this one was actually good. It was like the conclusion to the show, so it was good in that sense.
I might watch it with my girlfriend.
Yeah, it was fine. I wanted to go see it in 3D, super shaky chairs and whatnot.
Yeah, I don't think so.
What?
Did you see any shaky chairs?
Well, the problem is they had Captain Marvel come out this week. If I went last week, I would have had the opportunity.
Right.
But Captain Marvel came out this week, so then all the shaky chairs get switched over to Captain Marvel, right?
So there's no shaky chairs
for how it's just regular, and to find the 3D showings is even harder now, right?
Yeah.
Because all the 3Ds have been allocated to Captain Marvel, which is the next big movie, right?
Okay. So, yeah, I don't think I'll see Captain Marvel in 3D. I think that's just a waste of money.
Then why even bother watching it?
I'm just gonna watch it regular, man.
Well, the difference is what? Like $2?
No, but some movies are not that good in 3D, and I don't think Captain Marvel will be better in 3D than just regular.
What was the last 3D movie you saw?
Alita?
That was okay for 3D, but like
you gotta.
That was a shitty movie, though.
Yeah, but the special
I
effects
even warned
was worth.
You, like, this is a shitty movie. Like,
the special effects was worth. I'm
still gonna go see it, cause.
But Captain Marvel 3D.
You don't even know. I haven't seen any trailers because I'm against watching trailers.
Yeah, I saw the trailers.
Does it look shit from the trailers?
It's probably gonna be awesome, but not like 3D awesome that you have to see it in 3D. Like I'm
gonna see the Avengers in 3D.
I'm definitely gonna see that in 3D.
Why? I don't even remember any 3D scenes in the Infinity War that seemed like, oh, this is so cool 3D for me.
Yeah. No, I mean the final fight scene, right, where Thor came in and shit.
There was no real 3D in that. They're just 2D fighting, just shooting guys and stuff like that.
Anyways, but it's the final one, right? So it's like. It's probably gonna be awesome.
Even Spider-Man,
Homecoming.
That was like
that should not be.
There's like no.
I didn't watch that. I think I watched that on Netflix. So.
Oh, basically 2 years after it came out, then.
No way. I did watch it. I didn't watch it in 3D though. That's for sure.
Yeah, but my point was, did that have to be 3D? Like, there's no 3D-ness in there that I really
Exactly.
noticed.
So not every movie needs to be watched in 3D.
Depends. I think for cartoons, they can make the 3D easier in your face, like make it more 3D-ish.
Yeah.
But whereas like something like Avengers is hard. Like Spider-Verse I saw in 3D was pretty cool. Because that's a cartoon, right? It's animated, so they can make it look 3D more easily.
I think I saw that in 2D.
Oh, well, you didn't miss out.
No, wait. I don't remember, man. I wore the glasses so many times now that I don't even know.
You wear the glasses for no reason. Like, hey, this is you just wear.
I remember I saw Venom in 3D.
Oh, that was stupid. Well, that movie was just stupid.
It was just confused. My eyes were just like, oh god. The tentacles was shooting at your face though. That was kind of
like a cheesy. Oh, that's too cheesy. I remember them doing that like in the original Resident Evils, where the girl would be like running with the shotgun and shooting, and you see the coins in your face. I'm like, come on, guys, 1990s 3D where you make it.
Yo, the tentacle pierce their chest.
Yeah.
And then you see the tentacles come.
Yeah,
That's good.
That's like 1990s shit. Like,
All
you
right.
can't do that now.
Let's start this.
Okay. Okay, welcome everyone to the Player and the Pro podcast, Hearthstone Arena podcast. I'm your host, Will, casual player Will. I'm joined by my co-host, leaderboard Tachi.
What's up, guys?
We're here this week again to talk about more Hearthstone, more Arena, more changes in the Year of the Dragon. Ooh, dragons. Ooh. Speaking of which, I did watch How to Train Your Dragon. Good movie. Go check it out.
Right, yeah, I'll probably go see it too. So, not much has changed, really.
I was expecting more spoilers on the new cards, new sets. We didn't get that, but we did find, Tachi did find a Reddit post where one of the Blizzard creators did an AMA on Reddit, right?
Yeah.
And he explained some details, some questions that we had regarding this Year of the Dragon and what's going to happen. Without further ado, explain, Tachi.
Yeah, so one of the things that we wanted to know was, what about the ban cards? So for a lot of players who never played the arena before, 2017, we had some cards like Faceless Summoner and Snow Chugger. These are cards that were banned.
Faceless Summoner was a 6-mana 5/5 that would summon a random 3/3 or 7-mana.
3 mana cost minion.
Yeah, it was a 6-mana 5/5 though.
Yeah.
So you could high roll and get like King Mukla and win, or you can get something embarrassing and lose.
There's not really that many bad 3 mana cards. I know Howl Fiend is bad, but I don't know if Howl Fiend is still gonna be in Arena. So let me just check Howl Fiend. For those who don't know, Howl Fiend is a 3 mana 3/6 Warlock card.
Demon, yeah.
When this minion takes damage, discard a random card. Okay, it is Knights of the Frozen Throne, so it's not gonna be in Arena. So we're not gonna really analyze every 3-drop, but it should still be a pretty strong card.
Yeah, because I remember before it would high roll, you get a King Mukla or something more powerful than a 3/3. Even if you got a 2/2, 6 mana, you get a 5/5 and a 2/2. I'm like, well, that's pretty good. That's better than the other guy. For 1 mana more, you get +1/+1 on both stats. Better than Silverhand Knight, 5 mana 4/4 that would summon a 2/2.
Mm-hmm.
And people were complaining about this card because I guess sometimes they get King Mukla and it's over.
Yeah, it would be really bad if like some of the Ungoro cards are like some of the old cards that's rotating out is still gonna be like Stone Skin Basilisk, Tar Creeper.
Oh, my favorite, the Frozen dude.
Frost Rider,
Yeah.
Frost Rider. The recent one that was released, this expansion, Ornery Tortoise.
Oh, right, yeah.
There's just a lot of crazy good 3-drops, but those are rotating out, and we're losing a bunch of good 3-drops. We're going to talk about that later.
Do you think this is a mistake on banning Summoner, or they're just like, let's see what happens?
Let's see what happens, because I did look at some of the mage cards that's coming back in. They're not that strong. We kind of talked about it in our last podcast.
Your Pro Priest.
Like, what's the strongest card there? Like, Twilight Summoner? Like, Faceless Summoner is probably going to be one of the strongest cards that's coming back.
Is it a mage card?
Yeah, it's a mage card.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't have any identity to the mage. Like, mage is not known to summon another minion.
Random minions.
Yeah. Anyways, new banned cards are still banned. So, basically, Cthulhu cards are still banned. You see some of the really bad cards, like Ancient Watcher, that's still banned. Mind Control Tech, that's still banned. That's really good.
It's too bad.
I think Vicious Fledgling is still gonna be banned. It's not gonna be in Arena anyway, but it's still gonna be banned. And Hall of Fame cards are still not in Arena. They kind of treat the developer said the Hall of Fame cards are kind of like another set. So because they only mention basic and classic set, it's not considered, Hall of Fame cards are not considered any of those two sets. So it's not going to be in there. So you're not going to see Ragnaros coming back. You're not gonna see power overwhelming. I don't know what other
They
cards.
could always mix it up. Like I think they're just saving it as like an
They,
ace in their pocket, like saying like, we got nothing going on this month. Let's just put Hall of Fame cards back in rotation and see what happens
yeah,
for a week or something like that, and see what happens.
yeah. So that was the AMA.
Wasn't there more to it than that?
There is more.
Oh, here we go.
So we had some concerns, right? Like, are they still gonna use a bucket system? And the developers were like, yeah, we're still going to use a bucket system. However, they acknowledge that there's a problem because a lot of strong cards are rotating out. So you're looking at Primordial Drake, Bone Mare, Cobalt Scalebane, although that's not really that strong. Like Meteor, Vile Spine, like a lot of Ungoro cards that was insanely strong. They're all rotating out. So they're not sure what to do right now. Maybe the new set will have a lot of overpowered cards, right? That's what you.
Yeah, my 2 cents is whenever the best card leaves rotation, there's going to be a new best card that takes over. So in the beginning, it was Primordial Drake, and I even feel like who's that? Violet Worm should have been in that kind of power group.
Yeah, Violet Worm should have been around the top bucket, honestly.
But anyways, my point is, even when there's a power gap, those cards leave. There's going to be like a void left, and then there's going to be cards that will fill that void that everyone will pick later. Like I can't figure out what that is right now off the top of my head because I don't have a list of cards in front of me. But I know whenever the next best card leaves, there's going to be like a power ranking, a power adjust, right? Everything's going to move in place. Like let's say, when Warrior was the best class, everything was okay. We have to find a way to stop the Warrior, which was complaining and getting it nerfed. And now that it got nerfed, now Warlock is the best class, right? So, you got to deal with that, which you can talk about later, how I ran into so many Warlocks this week.
Yeah, what I noticed is it's kind of like a cycle, and the cycle has to stop somewhere. And what I mean by that is, there's always going to be strong cards in the arena, right? Like we wanted to nerf Warrior, yeah, like you said, Warrior, and then they micro adjusted Warrior, and now pretty much nobody complains about Warrior. Now we're complaining about Warlock, and the issue with Warlock right now is they have Demon Bolt, which is super common, and then they have Omega Agent, which again is just super powerful. It should be in around the top bucket, but it's not. But yeah, we'll see what the new expansion will bring. There's definitely gonna be strong cards, power creeping cards, because Ungoro is going out, and Ungoro was the latest set. I mean, the earliest set, I guess, that just power crept the shit out of the old cards. Like I was just looking at neutral cards, right? Nobody cares about neutral cards. They probably don't see play in constructed, but then you have Nesting Rock.
Oh right, yeah, that's great. Yeah.
5 mana, 4/7, already
with taunt,
insane stats, and if you can taunt it up, that's insane. And then you had Tar Creeper, just power creep. It's seen in most anti-aggro decks in constructed. And then a card that never saw play in constructed, Stubborn Gastropod. That card is meta defining to the point where each of your decks should have something that deals 2 damage to kill the Gastropod. Like, it's just crazy. Anyways, so they're not sure what's going to happen. We're kind of excited about what the new expansion will bring. We predict it should be pretty strong. It should be pretty strong.
What should be pretty strong?
The new set. Like
we don't know anything about it yet.
Yeah, we don't know anything about it, but it's in Blizzard's best interest to have really strong cards coming out. Because you look at it, just looking at constructed too, like the Death Knights are coming out. The Quest, nobody uses Quest, but
we're getting rid of the
even and odds. Yeah, that's out annoying. Too. There's just gonna be a huge hole of power. Where is it going, right? So, anyways, the other thing that's kind of important is the developer is thinking of cutting down leaderboard to once every 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Because they said that the rotating set will be once every 2 months. So they're trying to maybe cut down the leaderboard to once every 2 months. Now I'm a little bit on the fence about that because
So will you have to do 30 runs? Is it still 30 runs? Did they say that?
they're not even sure.
60 runs. Oh my god.
They're not even sure. Like it,
You could do that in a week.
like their initial suggestion was maybe 30 runs for 2 months, and I'm just like, absolutely not. Like it should be more than 30. Um, the other thing too is the leaderboard is kind of like, it's like the reward system in Constructed, right? At the end of the month, you get, some golden cards based on the rank you got.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's just a little reward, and so is a leaderboard. The leaderboard is kind of like a little reward for the arena players who came out and worked their ass off to get on the leaderboard.
30 runs is tough, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I aspire to do that one day, but first things first, play 30 runs a month. So good luck with that.
So, yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do. Honestly, for them, it's probably better for them to do it once every 2 months. So first of all, they will cut down people complaining about it by half, right? So instead of people complaining every month that it's coming out late, they can just now complain every 2 months that it's coming out late. And they have less work to do, right? They only have to do it half as much leaderboards as before. So for Blizzard, yeah, they should do it every 2 months. And people in the community are also like, yeah, let's do it every 2 months. Not everybody can do 30 runs a month. It might get more people to try out for the leaderboard. But, my defense is that not many people know about the leaderboard anyway. So whether you do it every 2 months or every month, as long as Blizzard doesn't acknowledge it that much, like the leaderboard comes out 2 weeks late every time for like the last 2 years. They don't. If the company doesn't really care about it, why should the player care about it, right? So.
No, what you can care about it. It's important to some people, but at the end of the day, it doesn't change anything, right? Like what are you doing?
Yeah, but it's like, how does the reward system at the end of every month in Constructed change anything? Like, I'm pretty sure most players don't care about
don't
golden
you
cards.
qualify for like a regionals or something like that if you were in the top 100 or something like that?
Yeah, if you in the legend. I'm just saying the monthly golden card rewards, right? You get at the end of every month, depending if you get to rank 5 or whatever.
Oh, that's just a bonus to try and get.
Yeah, a lot of people don't care about that.
I care. I want more golden cards. I want more dust.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't really care that much what they do.
I'm surprised they would do this change. Why would they do this? To stay with rotation? Is that what they're?
I don't know, but like I said, right? Like it's better for them, honestly, because they do less work, and they have less people complaining about it. So it's a win-win for them, and there are people defending for them that 2 months is better than 1 month.
I don't know.
So.
To me, it won't make a difference.
Yeah.
Probably won't get 30 runs in 2 months anyways.
Yeah. Okay, so once again, we're going to dive a little bit deep on the meta. I'm going to talk about some stuff about the meta. So once again, rotating sets, Whisper of the Old Gods, Curse of Naxxramas, Mean Streets of Gadgetzan, and the Witchwood is coming back. You have any opinions on any of these sets when you played it?
I like Mean Streets. I love those cards where it's like 3 classes have a certain set of cards. Or no, there's a card that's used within 3 classes.
Yeah.
Universal between 3 classes. I wish they had more cards like that, so it'd be more fun.
Uh-huh.
And I like the fact that, well, Jade wasn't that powerful. I think they did something with Jade, right?
What do you mean?
Like it didn't seem like the Jade ones were the Jade classes were the ones that got ripped off the most because their tri-class cards didn't really work, right?
Yeah, I don't remember whether
there was like 2 or 3.
Right. It was Jade cards, and Jade cards in Arena didn't work that well because
you didn't get enough of them.
Yeah,
it's
but with the bucket system, maybe you will. Because what I realized over the years with the bucket system is you have more synergies.
Mean Streets.
In
more synergy options, right? Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, there's more ways to get synergy in as long as it's not in the crappy bucket, right? But yeah, like Jade Spirit is
That was
so
so
much
bad.
worse than Cabal Chemist.
Yeah.
And Gramsci Smuggler was just a decent card as well.
Yeah. So I like the Mean Streets operation. That was probably my favorite. I don't remember Witchwood that much. What was Witchwood cards? Name some.
Echo cards.
Oh, those are stupid.
Echo and Rush. So, Swift Messenger.
Yeah. Swift Messenger is fine. Like I can't think of anything. Was the 5/1 still Death Rattle summon another 5/1? Is he considered?
Cursed Disciple?
Is he Witchwood?
That doesn't sound like Witchwood to me.
Okay.
That doesn't sound like Cursed Disciple. It sounds like Knights of the Frozen Throne kind of thing.
Okay, I
right?
don't remember.
So I'm gonna dive a little bit deeper on the new meta that's coming out. I wrote an article on Temple Storm, but I'm talking about it here too, just because it's something. When I was researching, it was really interesting to show up, and one of the things. So I identified kind of 4 trends. Okay. So with the 4 sets that's coming in, one thing I noticed was that there was a lot of premium taunts coming back in. So everybody remembers Bot Creeper, but there was a bunch of other taunts like Psychotron. There was Sludge Belcher.
Sludge Belcher.
5 mana 3/5. Death Rattle summon a 1/2 also is taunt. What were some of the other ones? Second Rate Bruiser. That's a 5 mana 4/5 with taunt.
Oh, right.
And if your opponent has 3 minions, the cost of this card,
right?
Yeah, it costs 3 mana instead.
Yeah.
And Ancient of Blossoms, it was just 6 mana 3/8 taunt.
Oh, right.
6 mana 3/8 taunt.
Yeah, he wasn't the best one back then. No.
And you see there was a lot of taunts in Witchwood too. Like Furious Etten is still gonna be in there. Witchwood Grizzly is still gonna be in there. Phantom Militia, Rotten Apple Bomb. So I counted 9 good taunts that's coming in, and the cards that are going out, the taunts that are going out, they weren't that good, right? Like we have Sleepy Dragon, Giant Mastodon.
Yeah.
They costed 9 mana. Like you might just be dead by then, right? All the opponent needs is a hard remove when you're dead. So they weren't that good. Moshock Enforcer, 8 mana 2/14 Divine Shield.
Oh.
That's always bad because you're really sad if they just steal your shit. Like a priest steals your and then you're just sad.
Primordial Drake.
Primordial Drake is going out, which I guess is bad, but it's not that terrible. So that's that. A lot of taunts are going out. And the other thing I noticed was a lack of 3-drops. I mean, not a lack, but a lot of 3-drops are going out. Right? So if you remember in this meta, we had just so many crazy good 3-drops. Okay?
And yet there are times I would have to pick a 3/3.
Yeah, and there's still times you have to pick a 3/3. Now, a lot of those are leaving out. So let's just name a few, right? I put there Stoneskin Basilisk.
Right.
Is out. 3 mana 1/1 Divine Shield Poisonous. It was the card itself usually counted for like about 2 cards.
Yeah.
Or 1.5 cards. Like it for sure it killed another card, and then the opponent probably wastes 2 mana trying to hero power.
Yeah.
So it's like it's worth 1.5 cards. And then you have cards like Tar Creeper, 3 mana 1/5 that is a 3/5 on your opponent's turn. Hilnir Frostrider, 3 mana 4/4, freezes everything. Just really good because if you play on turn 3, you likely don't have anything else before it. So it's a 3 mana 4/4. Lone Champion.
Right.
There's so many games where I might play a 3/2 on turn 2, and then they play a Lone Champion, and then I lose. I just lose because I can't deal with that Divine Shield. Maybe I spend my turn 3 hero powering them, and then they kill my 2-drop still, and I have to hero power again on turn 4. That's game losing.
Feels bad.
So that's going out, and then ordinary tortoise, which honestly wasn't that good. It's a 3 mana 3/5, but you lose 5 health. And so if you didn't play on turn 3, you might never want to play because you don't want to lose 5 health.
Yeah.
But still, we lose all of that. And we lose a bunch of 3/4s as well. Like we lose Untamed Beastmaster, 3 mana 3/4. And if you drew a beast, it gained +2/+2.
Right.
Just stupid. The amount of games I lost because that card activated right away is quite a few. And then another 3/4. Not many people pick this. Augmented Alec. It's just basically a 3 mana 3/4. The text written on it is not very important.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's like if I count that, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 premium 3-drops are going out. And what do we get as a result? We get Higher Gun and Toxic Sewer Woos. They're all 3 mana 4/3s.
Ew.
And so 2-drops that have 3 attack can just kill them. And we have Squirming Tentacle.
Ugh.
It's just a 3 mana 2/4 taunt. Nothing special about it. And lastly, we have Nerubian Prophet.
Ooh.
It's a 6 mana 4/4, but the cost of the card is reduced by 1 each time it's in your turn. Each turn is in your hand. So if you kept this in your opening hand, it becomes a 3 mana 4/4. And it was kind of one of the OG, 3 mana 4/4s that was actually good. Because we also had Dancing Swords, 3 mana 4/4, in Nax Ramus, where there's a Death Rattle and your opponent draws a card, which isn't that good. But yeah. So less 3-drops. So 2-drops are better now, basically, because yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just gonna change. Like we were used to 3/4s being the standard. Maybe 3/3s will just be the standard.
Yeah, there might be, no,
or
Threes.
maybe there's a shift over to 2-drops again.
Yeah, that's what I think. 2 mana cards that has 3 attack is gonna be pretty good. Because people are gonna try to draft for 3/4s, but they're not gonna get it. So then they end up drafting 4/3s,
And those are.
and then those are pretty bad. Like if your opponent plays a 3/2, you have to play the 4/3, and it just dies to a 2-drop. So.
No, but there's still some pretty good 3-drops. The 3/1 Divine Shield. What is that? Argent Command? No. You know what I'm talking about?
What?
The 3/1 Divine Shield.
Scarlet Crusader.
Scarlet Crusader. That's still there.
Yeah, those cards are gonna be.
Because remember how we said that card was not good compared to the 3-drops we had now?
Yeah.
But now with the 3-drops leaving, it might be a premium 3-drop. You see how things change?
Yeah, so that's one thing. So that's the second thing I noticed. The third thing I noticed was less win more cards. So win more cards are basically like you already have to be winning a little bit, right, to get more out of these cards. So Fungomancer is a classic win more card. You need to have 2 minions on the board already, and when you do, it just goes off. Like for example, you have a Tar Creeper on turn 3. And then you play, like, I don't know, any 4-drop, like a 4 mana 4/4, right? They couldn't kill your Tar Creeper, and then you just Fungomancer on turn 5, buff the 2, you just win the game. So those are all out, honestly. I was looking at how many win more cards we're getting back. There really isn't that many. Like, the only cards I've seen that's coming back is, like, Daring Reporter. 4 mana 4/4, and it gains +1/+1 each time you draw a card. It's really slow, right? It doesn't snowball out of control.
Is it just you or whenever anyone draws a card?
It's whenever you draw a card.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I remember it becoming a 4/4 the next turn. It's a 4 mana 3/3, right?
No, it's a 4 mana 4/4, and it becomes a 5/5 on your opponent's turn. On your turn again.
Oh.
Wait. Oh, wait, it's not. Oh, yeah. When your opponent. Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
When your opponent draws a card, you gain +1/+1.
Yeah, I remember.
That's even worse, to be honest. It's even worse than when you draw a card. Because
Depends if you're playing Warlock.
Yeah, if you're playing Warlock, then but I guess it's good against.
That's
Warlock.
what I meant. Yeah. Or just in general, like if the guy has Death Throttles that draw cards, which never happens, like the 2/1 Loot Hoarder, that doesn't really happen. But I remember it was a 3/3 on my turn, but on his turn it became a 4/4.
Right.
So it's like he has to deal with it, or else and if he tries to draw cards, that's just gonna make it stronger.
So yeah,
good luck, Rogue. Don't sprint.
Yeah, you can't do sprint. I don't think people are gonna be trapped in sprint. Anyways, another card is Hosen Healer. It's a 4-mana 2/6 and a
Frozen Healer.
Hosen Healer. Hosen Healer.
I thought it was Frozen. Okay.
And it heals.
Full, right?
Yeah, it heals you back to full health. A minion. So again, it's like just the worst Shroom Brewer, right? Because Shroom Brewer you can heal yourself. You can heal your face if you really need it, but you can't do that with. Hosen Healer. But I guess you can do, as a priest, you can do, Arcanine. And then you can use Hosen to kill anything. Because instead of healing it to full, you kill it. You just kill it. So I had that happen before. And with the bucket system, you're probably going to see that a little bit more often. Because it's kind of like, because you always... Like, a lot of times you just kind of pick Arcanine because it's such a strong card.
Yeah.
And then after that, you're like, I got Hosen Healer too. Like, you would just pick that. And why do I say that you're going to see synergy more often? It's because a lot of shitty cards is in the low buckets, and there are tons of those, and they don't show as much. So that's why you get to see more synergies.
I like this switch. Maybe we can do more synergies because before there was no bucket system, right? It was
it
just
was all
uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary, right? Everything was sorted based on rarity, which was incorrect at times because some commons were freaking awesome. And now things have adjusted, and who knows? Maybe it'll be fun.
Yeah,
I think it'll be fun.
So Fungomancer is going out. Death Speaker. 3-mana 2/4 gives your minion immune this turn. That's going out. Bone Marrow's going out. Sunborn Valkyr gave adjacent minions +2 health. That's gone. Cobalt Scalebane gone. Nesting Rock gone. Amani Warbear gone. A lot of these cards are just better when you're ahead, right? Because Amani Warbear is kind of like, okay, if they play a taunt or whatever on turn 7, you can just kind of eat it with your Warbear and keep pushing face. So we see less win more cards, and finally we see less poisonous minions.
Oh, thank God.
So Stoneskin Basilisk is out. Stubborn Gastropod is out. We had a 5-mana 1/5
Venomancer.
Trog Gloom Eater, that's going out. I think Venomizer is
Isn't he a 1/6 or something like that?
still in. I'm not sure if Venomizer. I think it's still in, but no, I think it's out too.
It was a 1/6, I think.
It was a 5-mana 2/5 with poison. And the Knights of the Frozen Throne. So that's out too. Basically, the only poisonous minion that's still in is all the way from Classic. You're looking at Emperor Cobra, the OG poisonous minion that's still gonna be in Arena.
It's a shitty 3-drop.
So what does this tell you, right? Like, if poisonous minions are out, win more cards are out, and there are way more taunts coming back in, you're expecting to see a lot slower meta. You're gonna be seeing a lot of slow meta where the taunts will dictate the trades way more often, and you will win. And also, one thing I didn't mention is that a lot of rush minions are going out too, right? Like Amani Warbear is going out, Steel Rager is going out.
Right.
What do you get in return though? You get Bomb Squad. Do you know what Bomb Squad does?
Was that a 5-mana 2/2 deal 5 when it comes into play?
Yep. Deal 5 damage, but if
Death
it
rattle.
dies,
Yeah.
you lose 5 health
That's okay.
on your face.
Yeah.
And then the other card is kind of like a conditional card. It's a 5-mana 5/5. It's called a Spiked Hog Rider, and it gains charge if your opponent has a taunt on the field.
Right, I remember that being useful. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, of course, we don't know what the new expansion is going to bring in, but I can't see them printing like 5 poisonous minions. I can't see them printing out 5 win more cards, and I can't see them printing out 5 premium 3 drops. But yeah, because the expansion only has like 120 cards or something.
You got
And
9 classes.
9 classes, and they add like 45 neutral cards, right? Now, a lot of these win more cards or poisonous minions are all neutral cards that I talked about, right? So what? They're gonna add like 10 cards just to fill the void of poisonous and win more cards?
I don't think they'll do that either, because then that doesn't really change anything, right? It's more of the same. People want different things. They want things to change. They want things to modify, and they want something new, right? If they just reprint the same card but give it a different name, that doesn't fix anything. That's like reselling the same shirt, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you gotta change it up.
And also is the expansion they have is gonna be themed, right? So it's like,
Which also means a new mechanics. I
Yeah.
forgot about that. Who knows? There might be some crazy new mechanic. We don't know what's coming back or coming.
yeah, on the AMA, some of the developers had because one person asked about, what's going to be the new keyword that's coming out in this expansion, and they keep hinting that it has something to do with double. Like double. So one of the most obvious predictions is maybe they're gonna be printing out a card like Electra Storm Surge.
What?
Which it gives the next spell. You activate the next spell twice, right? Like you play the next spell twice.
Right.
So are they gonna do something like the next battle cry is gonna activate twice, or what? Like what's going on, right? So it could be a keyword where it's like keyword and then battle cry or whatever. Like maybe the battle cry activates twice. Maybe the death rattle activates twice.
Right.
So we don't know. We don't know what that's gonna be. It's gonna be interesting. Because the last couple of expansions, the keywords has been okay. Like Overkill is mostly something you only see in Arena, and then before Overkill, you had Magnetic, and that was pretty much only seen in Arena too. So all these keywords are basically, and then you have Echo, and Echo was pretty much Arena too. Like the only Echo card that was seen playing Constructed is like
the dog, maybe.
Yeah, Hunt, maybe Hunt.
Mastiff?
Yeah, and they only saw that because of Death Hunter Rexstar.
Yeah.
Rexstar, right? It gives the rush. Yeah. So that's what we expect the new expansion, like, because the new expansion, you have to realize we have 4 other expansions that's coming in. So even if we get the new expansion, it's not gonna change this 4 sets drastically that much. Maybe you can feel some void of poisonous minions and win more cards, but it's not gonna be like right now. Like right now, things just get completely out of control. You play the poisonous minion, they can't remove it. They play a win more card, and you're fucked. So that's probably gonna happen less, and I anticipate it's gonna be a slower meta.
You think it's gonna be more late game?
Yeah, cause you mentioned the try discover cards, right?
Yeah,
like
I love
Cabal
those.
Courier,
Yeah.
Lotus Agent, Grime Street Informant. People are just gonna be eating that shit up, man. They're gonna be drafting those cards. They're gonna be drafting Cabal Chemist, which gives them a random potion. We talked about that last week, and it's just gonna be pretty slow. Like we're probably gonna try to not play too much minions, so we don't get totally fucked by these random board clears. So that's about it. Let's move on to the next topic.
All right. We got the powerhouses at the 7 slot for this week. For another 2 weeks, I think. Expansion comes out in April, so we got this for a little bit longer. So we've always had debates on 7 drops. We have the 7 mana 5/9 Fierce Etten versus the 7 mana 5/7 Taunt Rush Amani Warbear. Now these are premium 7s, and they both taunt, but they have different applications. I think in the current meta, like I used to think Eden was good, and then I got blown out by a couple warlocks that had single removal. What do you call that? Demon bolt? Not
Demon Bolt, yeah.
demon bolt. So I'm like, all right, I lose. You killed my big guy. Whereas I felt like Warbear would at least get a hit in, do something, and then they can't really use their removal against it. But I'm more of a fan of Warbear because usually I think you said this before that Warbear is more of a card that when you're behind, it lets you kind of do something to kind of catch up and stabilize somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Eden is what? A card that you're ahead and you just want a stability or
Warbear? Yeah. Yeah.
How did you frame it before?
So Furious Eden, the only difference is that there's 2 more health, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when
well, the rush.
yeah, so you trade in 2 health for a rush effect. And the Warbear is a little bit better when you are the aggressor. Because chances are, around turn 7, they're going to play maybe a 5-mana taunt. And maybe ping one of your minions down or whatever. And then you play the Warbear and it just pushes damage. Whereas Furious Eden, the 2 health could just trade with... It could be the difference between, an additional minion, right?
Yeah.
And the difference of additional minion means that you deal 5 more damage to it, which could be pretty good. Now, there are a lot of situations where I don't think they're in the same bucket, though. Like, I don't think Eden and Warbear is in the same bucket. But I probably take both of them equally. Like,
Okay.
I would say Warbear is a little bit stronger than Eden.
Okay.
So if they were compared with each other, you're probably going to take Warbear most of the time because I like being the aggressor.
Mm-hmm.
But you take Eden sometimes when you just have no, late game. And right now, you can't win if you don't have late game. Like, the only class I can win without late game is Rogue and Hunter. So every other class, if you're a mage, if you're like a warlock, you need late game. And Furious Eden is one of those cards where you kind of have to bait out their hard removals first.
Right. Okay.
Like you don't just drop it on 7. You probably play like a 5/5, right? You play like a former champ, and then they're kind of desperate. They're like, oh shit, I have to remove that 5/5.
Right.
And then you play this as a 5/9, or it's kind of like you have a better taunt. You have like a 9-mana giant mastodon or something. And you play Furious Eden first, they remove that, and you slam down another one. Of course, Warlock, though, has 2 Demon Bolts on average. So you're going to have to hope for the best that they don't have it at hand. But the likelihood they have the second one in their hand is kind of small, so I'll take that risk.
Okay. So right now you think they're equal?
I think Warbear is slightly better.
Okay,
I
so
do
you lean
agree.
towards the Warbear.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I have seen success with Eden too.
Okay.
Like I got a recent mage deck to 11 wins, and the late game was only 2 Furious Edens.
It just gummed up the field.
Yeah.
For you to stabilize again. Okay. So in the future, it'll be Eden versus Bog Creeper.
It'll be Eden versus Bog Creeper. Furious Eden is still gonna be, because Furious Eden is a Witchwood card, and Bog Creeper is from Whisperer of the Old Gods. When it came out, it was basically a meta-defining card.
Yes.
You basically picked this over everything, and the card got so much attention that it actually saw play in Standard at some point.
What? Oh, okay.
It was a niche shaman deck, right? Like they had what you call a crusher shaman. You just slam down all these late game cards.
Okay.
But anyways, Bog Creeper versus N, I would.
The difference is basically 1 attack for 1 health, right?
1 attack for 1 health. And I would definitely take Creeper every time.
Okay.
Every time. N would never be picked if it was against Bog Creeper. Never be picked.
Really?
The 1 attack is just so much better because if you look at the meta that's coming in, there are going to be a lot of 5 mana cards with 6 health and 4 attack. And Furious Eden can't deal with that on its own, right? You probably need to hero power.
Oh.
But but Bot Creeper can eat up a 4/6, and a card that's gonna be coming in that's a really good curve minion is Big Time Racketeer. It's a 6 mana 1/1, but it summons a 6/6 as well, and the Bot Creeper will just eat that shit up. But Furious End can't eat that shit up. Furious End can't even kill the 6/6 by itself.
Right.
And then you have a 1/1 that could go in too. So Bot Creeper is just gonna be super good, and it's
so
probably
just like before. Bot Creeper is
Bot Creeper is still gonna be dominating the meta.
Okay. So you might have to switch to single target removal just to deal with this guy.
Yeah, I think Violet Worm is going out too. So
good.
They're gonna need some kind of late game card that's that can stomp over Bot Creeper, something
dragons,
with 8 attack.
Insert the dragons.
Yeah, maybe dragons. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
And that's kind of it on our end. There's really not that much going on. Any experience you had this week?
I drafted, I think, a Paladin deck, and I was doing okay till I kept running into these Warlocks. Right? And the issue with that would be it'd be even or it'd be up slightly during the mid game, and then the Warlock would just pull ahead by drawing more cards. And if I ever missed a drop, like I didn't play it properly, like utilize my mana completely, he would just play a weaker minion to offset my weaker minion and then draw a card. So then at the end of the day, he would have more resources than I did. I'd ran out of juice. And then I felt like, well, I lost because he still has 3 or 4 cards. I'm down to 1, and he can just play the value game now and just, grind me out for the last remainder of the game.
Yeah.
Which is what happens with the pros, I guess, what the pros are all doing with Warlock, where they just hold on in the mid to early game, and then late game they just take the advantage of the hero power and just grind you out and just squeeze you because you can't draw any more cards to keep up.
Yeah.
Is that how you play Warlock, or is that your experience? Or?
I think having Warlock on top makes the meta a little bit skillful, because you have to draft your deck to somehow outlast the Warlock, and you also have to make sure that you don't lose to aggro too. So it's a good balance to have. So finding the right formula, so to speak, to get your 12 wins is interesting. Whereas before, you had Warrior and Hunter on top, and it was just impossible to deal with because Warrior will outvalue you and Hunter will out aggro you. So you're kind of just stuck where you don't want to face one or the other class.
Right. But
Warlock feels a little bit more balanced to face against.
Okay.
Like, sure, they can outcard you, but you just need to draft. You just need to have a sense of, how much late game do I need to keep threatening the Warlock. Because a typical Warlock deck really isn't anything too special. The high-end Warlock decks are insane. They have a good opener, and then they finish you off with Omega Agent and shit.
Yeah, and
a bunch
well, you got me.
They have a bunch of super late game, and they have Demon Bolt that can help with surviving the mid game. So yeah, I haven't picked Warlock too much. I wasn't offered that much. Like, I've just been playing Rogue a lot, and I've been facing a lot of Priests. It's weird because Priest is not even in the top 5 classes. But I think people on average just likes to play reactively.
Okay.
And Priest has a lot of annoyingly fucking tools. I think what happens is that the casual player, they play Arena and then they face Priest at low wins and then they lose to Priest because of their control cards, and then they're like, okay, I'm gonna play Priest on my next run. And it's just like it just starts a cycle.
If you can't beat them, join them.
Join them, yeah.
Except it doesn't work out if you don't know what you're doing.
Because when you lose to Priest, it's very memorable, right?
They stole my best card.
They steal your shit, or they play Mass Hysteria, they Psychic Scream. You remember that loss. But you face a rogue and then you lose. It doesn't feel too bad because they usually beat you around the middle. Like, they don't rush you down like hunters do. but they're like they just beat you with vanilla minions. So when you lose to that, you're like, oh, okay, I just drew badly.
Yeah.
But when you lose against Priest, it's like, oh fuck, some mass hysteria. Fuck that card. I want to steal some shit from other people too, man.
I like stealing. Stealing is good. That's the
Yeah.
priest MO.
I faced this one priest at like 6 wins. I was a rogue, and he played 4 Holy Novas.
Whoa.
And he still had mass hysteria, mind control, and all that shit. I still beat him.
Whoa.
And just like, why do you draft such degenerate decks, man? Just why do you do that to yourself? Why do you do that to your opponent?
Isn't that what priest is? A jerk?
A jerk, yeah. Don't. If you want to be a jerk, if you want to be a scumbag, you know, you had a tough day at work, you know, your boss was being an asshole. Well, you can let it all out by playing priest. Just be the asshole yourself, man. And then you're just like laughing. You're having a good time. You forget that your boss is an asshole and you have to see him tomorrow.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, that's it.
That's priest. Huh?
That's priest.
All right, let's play priest.
Oh my god. Maybe we do have to play priest. I think it's. What did we play last time? I don't remember. But we're gonna go.
Warrior is really annoying.
We're probably gonna go eat first, and then we'll do the co-op after.
Okay.
Because I don't want to eat that late. So,
Yeah, it's getting dark.
Yeah.
All right, cool boys. We'll see. Is that it? Do we have a finishing slide?
We don't know what we're gonna talk about next episode, but we'll.
Are we gonna get this on YouTube? What's going on? What's the hold up here?
I had stuff to do, man.
Dude, you just hit upload. Hit upload. Hit upload. That's all you have to do.
Yeah. I'm gonna upload last week's to Ear of the Dragon. It's where it all starts. And we'll
New beginnings, 2019, March. It's only March, you know. We still got 9 more months to figure it out. So let's get on it.
Yeah.
Before the dragons come home to roost, and get her done. Okay.
So next week we're probably going to see some new cards.
And we can react to that.
We can actually react to like a new expansion.
And you know, everyone can jump on me for saying Priest isn't gonna be that OP, and everyone was raging on me last week for saying I was on narcotics.
I'm gonna predict though that they're not gonna release like a super control priest card, because in Rastakhan they released Mass Hysteria, and they usually release a board clear to replace another board clear, right? So Psychic Scream is rotating out, and that's why they're adding Mass Hysteria in. So I don't think they're gonna release another stupid AoE.
Mass Hysteria was always tricky. It would never work when I would do it, but whenever they did it, I would always lose everything. I don't know how to do the math.
Yeah, I think if you're like a good player,
You can do the math.
you don't draft all the Mass Hysterias. You draft like maybe one. It's
Yeah.
kind of like okay, if everything goes to shit, I'm gonna rely on my luck.
Emergency.
Yeah. But if you're like, you know, just a casual player, you probably draft like 3 Mass Hysterias, whatever, and then you just hope you get lucky. So yeah, we might talk about Mass Hysteria because I have such huge beef with the card, but
Yeah, put it
we're
down.
not gonna see it next month.
Well, let's hope they give us some cards to talk about next week regarding, regarding the new set, so we have a feel for what's going on. Because right now we have no idea what's going on.
Exactly.
But it'd be nice to talk about new cards. It's fun. Is that
Yep.
it?
Yep, that is it. Thanks for tuning in, and we know we probably only got 1 viewer here, but we're gonna upload it on YouTube.
Let's try and double that on YouTube. Get
Try
2
to
people.
yeah.
Tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your
Yeah.
best friend,
Yeah.
tell those Lightforge guys. Who said that?
Nobody said that. That
any-
was my mom.
Thanks, Tachi's mom. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. And you could have been anywhere, but you chose to hang out with us tonight. And we'll see you guys next week.
In an hour.
In an hour, sorry.
We'll do co-op.
Yes,
Yeah.
but the podcast next week, same bat time, same bat channel.
Thanks for tuning in, knee boy.